Okay, so we know that today is Samuel. And you guys are getting so good with your Old Testament characters that I know you would know where to put him on this timeline. Because we know that he was a judge, and we know that he was a prophet who anointed the first king and first kings of Israel. So he comes after Ruth, who was in the period of Judges, and he comes before Isaiah, who was prophesying to the kings. So he must come down here, and here he is, look, Samuel in his bed, sitting up, listening to God. We can read about him in the book of 1 Samuel. That's where we first hear about him. And one of the really cool things about Samuel is he teaches us about what it means to listen to God. Now, right now, I'm and you are really going to listen and say it. And you might think that it's a sound that's it's going really well right now, but actually, okay, so the sound desk didn't mess up just then. I put white noise over the top of what I was saying to make a point. Because here's the thing, when I was talking and there was white noise over the top, you couldn't hear what I was saying. Parents with newborn babies often use white noise to help their babies get to sleep. And that's because when you play white noise, it blocks out other voices and other noises around you. The other interesting thing about white noise is it conditions you as a baby to feel drowsy. So then you're even less likely to be able to discern any noises around you because it's making you feel sleepy to those noises. Now, the problem with us is we have filled our lives with white noise. And so you might say, God isn't speaking to me. I don't hear God speak. But in the beginning, God said. God started the universe by speaking, and he's not stopped since. God is always speaking to us, but we've stopped hearing him because we've got distracted and busy. We're going here, we're going there. We've got TV on, we're listening to music. We're so busy and filled in our lives that it's all become like white noise and we can't hear him speak anymore. When our kids were young, I was in the kitchen cooking one night, and one of the children was telling me all about something. And they said, "Are you listening, Mummy?" And I said, "Yes, I'm listening." And they said, "No, Mummy, listen with your eyes." Ooh, what did they mean by that? They said, "Give me your attention. Focus on what I'm saying. Give me your undivided attention." And I think this is what we need to do with God. We can't just think that we're going to hear him while we're doing all these other things and it's going to just drop into our lives without us needing to do anything. Listening is an active thing. It's a choice. We need to listen to God with our ears, but we need to listen to God with our eyes. We need to watch to see what he's doing. We need to listen to God with our minds. We need to engage our brains when we open the word. We need to listen to God with our hearts. We need to be prepared to allow him to speak to our whole being. Last week, Alexis and I were in the car and her car seat was making like a really weird, funny noise when she sat on it, but it was very quiet. And I was getting in and the keys were jangling and we're chucking bags in the back, and she said, Mummy, listen to this noise, listen to the noise. And we couldn't hear it. So what we did was we both sat very still and we leaned in and we waited until we heard the noise. When was the last time that you sat and you stilled yourself and you made sure there was no other noise around you and waited to hear God speak? Listening is a choice. And if we want to hear God speak, then we need to choose to still ourselves and make that space to hear what he might be saying. What's happening next is kids are going to be going down to the basement to unpack Samuel a little bit more and think about listening to God. And the rechargers are going to be doing the same, but they're going upstairs to Chelsea Bay Lounge. You guys in the auditorium here are going to have Jono unpacking the next stage of the I Believe series. But before we all go to the different parts of the building to continue our service this morning, to continue our worship, let me just pray for all of us that we might listen to what God is saying.